Well, apparently blood is thicker than journalistic integrity. CNN is admitting that Chris Cuomo inappropriately provided his brother, New York Governor Andrew Cuomo, with advice about how to respond to the sexual harassment allegations against him. Here now is Joe Concha, the Hill media columnist and a Fox Business contributor. Joe, good to see you. Thanks for being here. I'd like to start with CNN's response to all this. Put that up on the screen if you can. It says Chris has not been involved in CNN's extensive coverage of the allegations against Governor Cuomo on air or behind the scenes, in part because, as he said on his show, he could never be objective, but also because he often serves as a sounding board for his brother. Now, it goes on to talk about how, yes, we admit it happened and it was inappropriate, but serving as a sounding board for a governor who is mired in scandal the way Andrew Cuomo, is that really the job of CNN, to be the sounding board for a scandal-ridden governor who's in the crosshairs of information like this?
David, that is the most BS statement I have ever seen from any network regarding somebody that's in trouble at their network. Right. To talk about how, well, Chris couldn't possibly cover his brother because he couldn't be objective. Well, CNN had no problem with it, did they? Back in 2020, in March, in April, in May, multiple interviews, if you want to call them interviews, it was fluffers, it was PR, it was propaganda between Chris Cuomo and Andrew Cuomo in terms of getting the governor's message out. Never asked about the nursing home scandal, except for like one little question that was completely benign. And the fact that now CNN's trying to say, well, he couldn't be objective. He couldn't possibly cover his brother. When things were bad, they couldn't cover Andrew Cuomo. When things were good back in March and April and May of 2020, sure, give him all the airtime he needs, and CNN promoted the hell out of it. This is the biggest black eye this network has received in CNN that I can think of. And the fact that now they're saying that, okay, Chris Cuomo, what he did was wrong. It's not going to happen again because he got caught, obviously, because of the Washington Post story. The fact that they're not doing anything in terms of action, consequences, ramifications, a suspension, or, you know, in a real world, he would lose his job because how could you possibly keep this person on the air at this point, David?
And the question is when CNN knew about this, whether they would have stayed quiet unless the Washington Post got wind of this, and also where is the great media analyst Brian Stelter in all this? He's the one who's supposed to be the grand poobah of all things media-oriented. I haven't heard much from him about all this. Have you?
Yes, the pious pundit, that is the CNN media correspondent, probably won't be covering this much in his Reliable Sources newsletter. Or if he does, it will be something along the lines of CNN is taking responsibility for this sort of thing. I don't even want to talk about this guy. He's a joke.
I got to switch to another story, which will make you very pleased. But it is a blast from the past, and it's the BBC interview with Princess Diana that was chaired by Martin Bashir, who's kind of left the industry in disgrace. But it was a 1995 interview with the late Princess Diana, and apparently Bashir manufactured artificial documents to kind of blackmail the princess and her family into going through with this interview. What do you make of all this?
Oh, boy. I can bring this back to Chris Cuomo, actually, believe it or not, if you can believe this. So Martin Bashir, years ago, said that, how do I put this, on a cable news network without being completely grotesque, says that people should relieve themselves on Sarah Palin. Let's put it that way, all right? And that got him fired from MSNBC. And I remember I went on CNN, all right? This is before I was with Fox, obviously. And Cuomo defended Martin Bashir because I said he should be fired. You can't say things like that on the air. And the thing is, David, you understand this term, and I'll explain it to people. This was in teleprompter. In other words, this was something that was written and that was screened, and then Bashir said that people should actually do this to Sarah Palin, and Cuomo defended him. I remember that, and then mocked me for defending him. Boy, I wish I could play back that tape sometime. So the bottom line is that, Martin Bashir, again, a journalist? No, I don't think so. An activist who poses as an anchor. And the fact that that happened to the late, great Princess Diana is so sad to see.
Well, unlike the Cuomo story, the question is, what did BBC know about all this back then? Just as what did CNN know about this relationship that apparently Brother Cuomo was having advising his brother, the governor. Joe, great to see you. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.